Welcome to Muddy River News this week. I'm Bob Goff. John Wood Community College is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and as part of that, Muddy River News commissioned a book to honor the 50th anniversary. And one of the people who was very instrumental in getting this thing across the finish line is Martha Rapp, and she's my guest today. Welcome.
Welcome to you, Bob.
Thank you for helping us get this done. I hope you are as proud of the finished product as I am, though.
I am excited about this book. I think it tells a story that needed to be told. You know, 50th anniversary, you either tell the story or you miss the opportunity to talk about people who were there from the beginning.
And I think that's really what we were able to do here. Is we had a lot of the people on the Muddy River News staff would kind of compile the data, and then we handed it over to you, and you, with your intimate knowledge and background of this, were really able to kind of flesh it out more. And the folks at John Wood were very helpful in getting us the photographs and the things we wanted, because I said from the get-go when we talked about this collaboration, I did not want some stuffy old book. I wanted something that was a living, breathing testimonial to the college, and I think that's what this is.
I think it is too. In fact, it's more than a stuffy old history. I think it could even be approaching the coffee table book that you envisioned when we first talked about this, in February 2023 maybe?
It was one of the first things out of it was way longer ago than that, I think. I mean, because it was like, after we got Muddy River News up and running, of course, Martha and Jim Rapp are partners in this whole endeavor that we do. But it was one of the first things that we had discussed and wanted to tackle after we got Muddy River News off the ground. And I think that it is certainly I thought it was a worthy subject, and I know that because Jim has been their attorney from basically day one. Your father was very instrumental in the statewide community college system.
This has been, in fact, a very, very personal story for me. I grew up with a dad who, in fact, was involved in the first community college district as community college districts would evolve. That was Black Hawk back in 1962, and the whole vision of the community college was that it would make education accessible and affordable for everyone. And not only that it wouldn't just be college prep or college education, that it would be a form of education that would prepare people to actually have jobs that were capable of supporting a family.
I think that when people look at this book and they look at when I say humble beginnings, I think I'm being generous.
You're being very generous.
When I look at how the college was started in the first place, basically just down the street here in the Illinois State Bank building, and the people who came together to basically build what was first the college without walls, and to base the whole the open market concept, and to try to put it all together in its evolution from that to making its way out to what was Lincoln School, and then building its own campus. Last Friday night when we were all together at the gala, there were a lot of people who talked about that. Jim Rapp and Jim Reed and people, and then just to hear that story, I think if people take the time to read the book and look at it, they're going to go, "Wow, that was John Wood."
That was John Wood. John Wood, the college that nobody, or very, very few people, really understood when it was starting.
And I think that, to look at it, and again, the way it really goes hand in hand, and I think that, it took a long time for Quincy University, Culver Stockton, and Hannibal LaGrange to really embrace it. The fact that, let's face it, college is the cost of college is expensive now. It's never been really cheap per se, but when you can go these first 2 years and stay at home and save a little money and get those credits out of the way and make the transfer process as easy as possible, it's something that all colleges should really embrace. And I'm not just talking about our local colleges. I think colleges in general across America took a long time to embrace the community colleges are real assets to get people in their doors.
Yes, but again, it goes far beyond college transfer. Far beyond college transfer, and that's something that people didn't really understand when John Wood was getting off the ground. I mean, we actually saw really a community blessed with some great institutions. At the time, it was Quincy College. It didn't become a university until a couple decades later. It was Hannibal LaGrange. It was Culver Stockton. And then we had some incredible schools that would prepare people for other professions. You know, Gem City College. You could just really go down the line. We had, 11 different institutions here, nursing schools, that were providing meaningful paths to careers. But there was a rightful understanding that, of course, this community didn't want duplication, didn't want an upstart to come into town and really bump these other institutions that were doing a great job serving our community out. And that's really where the misunderstanding of a community college came in. Community colleges were designed to be a lot more. They were designed at a time when, in fact, many people couldn't go away to college. They simply couldn't afford it. And not only that, they were designed with the understanding that they were going to do whatever it took to get people employable, to give them the skills they needed for meaningful careers, and at a time when the whole nature of work was changing. I think that one thing we don't fully appreciate 50 years down the pipe is that essentially what we were looking at when John Wood was really incorporated in 1974, this community had a very, very low unemployment rate. We were talking maybe around 4%. And lo and behold, within a number of years, in fact, by 1983, you saw unemployment in this community hovering around 19%. A lot of things happened. Jobs that did not require a lot of education, but certainly commitment, but living wage jobs were all of a sudden disappearing. The shuttering of Motorola took away 3,000 jobs. I mean, almost overnight, just gone. And then you saw Electric Wheel closing in the early 1980s, and that's another 800 jobs. I mean, wonderful jobs that were employing people for life and giving them security and really wages they needed to support their families, gone from this community. So what do? I mean, we were at a point where it was no longer possible to drop out of high school, get a job, and be really set for life. I mean, huge things were happening with technology and everything else. And that's where John Wood was able to come in, to do more than simply be the first 2 years of college, but to actually train people for lifetime employment. And not only that, you start then looking at areas that were crucial to the economy of this area. For example, agriculture. And what you see, there were really no ag programs. No ag programs in West Central Illinois. Go figure. I mean, we're talking about 1,900 square miles of farmland without an ag program.
Yeah. I mean, I look at that, and again, the career technical, the common market, the career technical aspect, and now when you look at the need for welders and the center that's been built by John Wood out there at 48 in Cooks Lane, you've got that, and of course the truck driving training program, which is one of the best in the country. And again, those are jobs that, and again, not every kid is cut out for college. I mean, my kids all did their 2 years at John Wood, went to Illinois State, but that's not every kid. And these kids who are just like, hey, I just want to learn a trade, John Wood has been a wonderful place for them to go, okay, let me figure out what I want to do here.
Exactly. And we cannot underestimate the value of those skills. We're all gifted differently. I certainly could not drive one of those trucks that scare me to death.
No.
I mean, I doubt you could either. No. I'd like to see it, though.
No. I did my share of that growing up over in Perry, and my parents would attest to you that
probably not going to happen.
I made the right career choice to get away from heavy machinery. So,
yeah.
But I think that, again, when you look at the whole overall picture of the book and of talking about the college's value, to really talk to the people who impacted it over the years, and so many of them who still have these fond memories of what they all did, and they all gave really a piece of themselves to make this college what it is. And again, the beautiful campus out there on 48th Street, or 48th in Harrison right now. All these people, all these stories, I think we've really done a really nice job of putting them all together and presenting them in a way that's really interesting. And I think people are really I think they're going to take a look at this book and say, wow, I had no idea.
I think they will too. And in fact, this has been an incredible collaboration. I don't know of any books of this kind that have as many personal profiles and interviews. You realize that we probably have upward of 40 to 50 interviews simply of people who were involved at the beginning or success stories. I mean, this has been an incredible collaboration. We have had the gift of Muddy River News, first-rate, world-class reporters going out and talking to people and getting their stories and basically hitting the ground. We've also had the gift of just incredible records and documentation that has been kept over the years. Minutes from the Illinois Community College Board meetings in the 70s. We've got correspondence. We've got articles that have been written. One of the huge gifts that we've honestly had in this whole venture has been the gift of having the Quincy Herald Whig digitized and available online. I mean, this has been an incredible aid in trying to tell the story. So you've got the perspective of the boring historical records, the dynamic news that happened, a world-class reporting crew hitting the ground, running and pulling in these interviews, and the hearts of these people, these incredible people who have been involved from the get-go.
And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the John Wood Foundation for its efforts in this. And of course, and we can't say enough about Mary Teakin and
Mary
her
Teakin,
gift.
absolutely. She made a significant gift so that it would be possible to actually have the resources to tell this story. Mary Teakin is just a phenomenal lady. Anybody who knows her loves her.
Yeah, she's great.
And knows what she's done for this community. But to actually provide the resources so that this could become a reality. You know, we went from rhetoric to reality with this book.
And also, we have a link at the bottom of this interview. You can look down if you want to order your copy of it. There's still a few left. I know at the gala, everybody who attended the anniversary event got their copy of it. We have softbound and some hardbound ones left. But again, I think it turned out beautifully, and I can't thank you enough for your help in kind of reining all this in. You talked about a lot of the legwork, but we did. If we hadn't had you just kind of sit there and funnel all this stuff we were throwing at you together, it wouldn't have happened. So.
But aren't the best things always collaborations?
Yes, they are. That's true. Yeah, teamwork. You know, when a group of people can look back when they gather for a common purpose, and they can go back and look at what they have accomplished together.
One other shout out though. Who knew that Matt Schuckman was a layout artist?
Oh yeah.
As well as a sports writer and editor. Par excellence.
He put together a lot of books back when he was at the Whig, and he's done a lot of our sports books that honor a lot of our local teams who managed to get in the winner's circle and come very close. And he did a wonderful job of getting this all laid out
In his spare time.
In his spare, yeah, no kidding. And but also the folks at Royal Printing got it done on time. And under budget, we might add. So I want to thank everybody who did this. But again, Martha, I want to thank you most of all for really helping, like I said, just kind of pull it all together.
It's been a joy.
All right. Martha Rapp, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob Goff.
That's all the time we have for now. I'm Bob Goff. We'll see you next week.